Hello and welcome to Sobrix. I'm Adam and this is Sobrix. This is my channel for reviewing Lego sets and building them and other Lego related stuff. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at the Lego Legends of Chima Eris's Eagle Interceptor set. This is set number 70003. It has 348 pieces and I paid $10 for this set. If you can see, the set is already open. This was one that I got at kind of a thrift store sale event, kind of Lego event thing where I got a ton of sets. Some of them were sealed, some of them were like taped up and just sold as is. And this one was sold as is, and inside the box was, for the most part a constructed bit of the main build, but it was missing some crucial elements like the two kind of other characters here, maybe the antagonists and kind of some of the builds, the stuff for the side build type thing, the vehicle for maybe either Razar or Rizzo or something like that. So I did order those extra pieces and now I believe everything should be in here so I can build this set as if it were new. However, it is not new, and then when I'm considering value, I'll have to take into account what I paid for the pieces I was missing, especially some of the minifigure pieces, which were more expensive than some of the other pieces. I'm also unsure about the sticker sheet or if it's in good condition. I know there are at least 2 stickers on this, so maybe those weren't applied. I don't remember. I think the set goes now in the aftermarket for around $40, $45, $50, so I still paid way less than that even with the addition of buying extra parts. So hopefully I have everything now, otherwise I'll have to double check the inventory and try to get everything I'm missing. This is the second Chima set I've looked at and I'm pretty excited about it. So we will get right into this, and in this video I'm going to open this up. I'm going to put this together and then I'm going to share my thoughts on it. So while I build, I will speed the video up and then I'll slow it back down to review this set. So until then, enjoy. Okay, so while we look at the beginning of this build for this Lego Legends of Chima Eris's Eagle Interceptor, I wanted to say thanks, and now a small interjection from me. Okay, so it looks like I am still missing the legs for these characters, so I'm going to work on building and I'll have to order those and I'll finish this when I get those pieces. But for now, I feel like I can do the builds that are in this set. So here we go. Okay, and now I'm back again, and I just wanted to say thanks for watching and then remind you that if you like this video, click the thumbs up. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button. That stuff helps me a lot. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. I can't believe all the support so far. We're into the 900s last I checked, so I really appreciate it, and I'll plan something for the next kind of mark or the next kind of thing. So I appreciate that, and then I wanted to talk about the build. So we start off with kind of a side build. I'm going to go back to that towards the end of the build portion because I did have some pieces I needed to change out. And then we build kind of the cockpit beak area for this Eagle Interceptor, which has really good color blocking and some nice pieces. And then we move on kind of to the main body. We can see we add some feathers to the back. In this next bag of pieces, bag number 3, we're going to work on the legs and the wings. The legs are identical. They're not even like flipped left and right necessarily. And so I didn't put all the claws on correctly, but those were a fun build there with some brackets and stuff. Then we add the wings. They're pretty basic, but very cool looking with some nice functionality. And then we can kind of add this all together. And moving on from that, I did have the sticker sheet to find, and then I did have to make some changes to this little side build for the other characters there. And I did ultimately have to like take it apart. I also was unfortunately still missing a couple pieces, so I found a couple approximations, close pieces that I had nearby. I'm sure I have the other ones in my collection somewhere, but I just didn't want to spend that time. So we add these stickers on there and then finish this up, and now on to my review for this set. Okay, so this is that Lego Legends of Chima Eris's Eagle Interceptor set. So this is the second set of Chima that I've ever looked at. I did have to go in between of when so initially this was just sold as is in the box that was retaped up, so it was used. Most of the pieces were there. Several of them weren't. Notably, two of the three minifigures in this set were not in the box, so I did have to order those and order their components and everything. And there was a few other things, and then initially when I placed my order for all of the pieces I was missing, I think I mixed up and wasn't very careful about what color I needed the things in, and ultimately I wasn't too far off for a lot of them. The color was kind of not super crucial, and but I was eventually able to get those extra parts. And then one other thing I just noticed when I was finishing it up, when I was putting these minifigures together, there's I think 2 or 3 other small pieces that I did not order, and I'm sure I have them. I probably have many of those pieces in my collection, but I grabbed some that were just close by, close at hand, that I could substitute in, so I'll point those out as we go. So I did have to make just a few more adjustments, but I did want to get to talking about this set because this is one that I have been sitting on for a little while here, and I'm pretty excited about it. So we will get into it, and the first thing we'll look at, like we normally do, is the minifigures. You get 3 of them, like I said, and I believe Eris, this is Eris's Eagle Interceptor. I believe this character was in the Wax Track Packer set as well, but I'm not 100% sure. So it's good to get that, but we'll take a look at this one first. So this is one of like the Eagles, kind of maybe the quote-unquote good factions of the Chima world here. Have the nice bar element with the kind of double-bladed gold axe. We have a clear tile on there. If we take that off, we can see we have this awesome headpiece with the beak, some gold printing on the top, some printing on the sides of the wings kind of up on the head area. So that's really neat. Cool headpiece, helmet piece there. And then beneath that we have kind of the bird face, Eris's face here, with some nice markings, some hard to see white details like between the eyes on the forehead and on either side of the beak. They have the white wings, and also we have the alternate face here, but I will take off the wings and shoulder pieces so we can see that. So this is the gold, pearl gold shoulder piece, couple 1x1 clips, the older style clips here actually. If you can see the difference, they no longer, well, it's kind of hard to describe, but they aren't as thick at the kind of base plate level, and they look more clip-like. And do I have any nearby so that I could see them? I'm not sure if I have any in arm's reach, but if you have some, you should be able to see the difference. It's sort of thicker at the bottom here and at the bottom of the clip portion. So these are just the older style, which makes sense for this set from however long ago. So that's really great. And then looking back at the Eris figure here, I did want to show we have this face. We also have this one. Not a ton different, a little different expression. It's a little hard to spot the differences. I think it's mostly in the eyes and the eyebrows there to really get the difference. And then the torso is really, really cool. So we do have the suggestion of hips, which maybe means maybe this character wasn't in the one that I thought it was. So that's cool to get another one here. We kind of have this like feathered armor over the chest, kind of an exposed stomach area. We do have this nice gold midsection with the feathered printing there, printing on the legs, including like the top of the legs, middle of the legs, and down to the feet. Looking at the rear, we have kind of this similar wing feathered pattern for the gold armor stuff there. So this is a really cool figure. Glad to get it. I think the heads on these are so interesting and so unique and kind of weird looking, kind of creepy looking to have just a round minifigure head with like the beak printed on it, but then also have like a helmet beak there. So I thought that was really unique. The next one we'll look at is Razar, which is one of the, I've been calling them kind of like crows or falcon maybe, or if these are eagle, maybe these are vultures. These seem to be like the antagonist bird faction of the Chima universe. So this one's really unique. This one was not in the box. I just special ordered this one. You can see we have a cool accessory here, kind of with the jagged like blade. It does have the red translucent kind of lightsaber piece in there. This one also has the same kind of pauldrons with black wings and the black old 1x1 vertical clip things there, and so that's a little different. Looking at the helmet piece, very, very cool. Tons of printing on there, a lot of silver going around the side, some good details, some scratches and some scarring on the beak there, as well as kind of up around the eyes. We have some different stuff as well as some different colors, so that's great to see. And then I'll pop off the back so we can see the rest of this character, but this is kind of the little build for the accessory there for the black wings, which are nice. And then looking underneath the helmet here, we do have again kind of the face printing that's similar to the eagle characters, in that it has just a minifigure head, but has kind of the beak printing. It sort of mirrors the helmet in some ways. So we have similar colors around the eyes, tons of good detail there. We do have an alternate face. This one has the mouth or the beak a little more open. The eyes are a little different as well, just so we can see the differences there. The mouth area of the beak is kind of the big noticeable difference. Looking at the torso, we have kind of a torso that mimics almost the translucent light blue kind of almost arc reactor looking piece on the center there, but some really nice details, some nice shades going on in the back. It's hard to do really detailed stuff on a black minifigure torso, but they did a really good job here with the silver and the gray and some of the other colors throughout there, which is nice. We do have printing on the midsection, which is great. Printing on the legs up at the top with some extra buckles, some stuff in the middle and onto the feet. This torso is a little bit unique in that it has the kind of claw hook or maybe talon for one of the hands instead of the minifigure hands. Looking at the back, we have kind of a continuation of the same that's on the torso. And then the next one and the last minifigure from this one is Rizzo, I would say. And this is one where I had to swap out some pieces a little bit, and also one where the kind of older style clip is not holding up as well. So we'll take a look at this. So this is Rizzo, another one of the maybe crow, falcon, raven, vulture, whatever this faction of avian characters is from Chima would be. So we have this accessory that's kind of almost like this cannon or like laser or something. It does use the black barb there. I actually think the piece that is kind of the base of this is really unique. So it has the bar element coming in the back. It's got some similar things to like other blasters or other kinds of like the movie camera pieces. Has a little thing over here, and I don't know what this was for initially. I read about what this piece was called when I bought it, but I don't remember exactly. And then we have the bit at the end. So technically, per the set, this disc that is in the light bluish gray should be black. There's a kind of translucent stud back here. It is red. I think it's supposed to be clear or like light blue. And then this cone translucent piece on the end is supposed to be just a round translucent red brick. So like one of those cylinder pieces. And I know that I have these disc pieces in black. I know I have the translucent, 1x1 round piece there as well. I just didn't want to waste time trying to find those necessarily, so I grabbed some things that were close approximations there to get the overall sense, which is not something I normally do, but I also don't normally look at use sets that often, and so it's just still kind of a learning experience for me. So that is their neat little accessory there, and then I will pop off the back and the wings as well as the head so we can look at all of that. And I'll just point out again that these are the older style clip pieces here. Oh, whoops. And this one is really loose, so this wing is not clipping in there very well, so I might have to swap that out for a different one. It shouldn't be able to really fall out like that, and I think that is maybe one of the reasons why they changed the design of these pieces. I think there was a few other reasons as well, but that may be one. So that one's like a little bit loose, or the bar element coming off the wing might be just too small, but I doubt that a little more than the clip being wrong. So let me switch these wings around here. Yeah, so now this wing that I just switched is still very, very loose in there. So that's one of the things. Overall, this little accessory is the same as the other characters there, and then we will look at the rest of Rizzo here. So again, has the really nice headpiece, the helmet piece with the beak. They are the same mold, I believe, but the printing is all different. You can see the different colors, and this one has more like asymmetry there. So on their left eye, but on the right side of the screen right now, they have more of this metallic plating and different stuff going on there. So that's a little bit different, but good to get that. Beneath that, we have the face again with the beak. It has kind of the eye patch looking bit over the eye, and the eye over here. Do have an alternate face again, kind of with the mouth a little more open there. Looking at the torso is actually or almost the exact same. I guess I thought they were the same. So let me make sure I have these on the right ones. I believe I do. So they're not quite the same. And part of the difference is because this one has a leg piece that's like part of the metallic kind of peg leg, or the sort of prosthetic here, which is a little bit different. So the midsection doesn't have printing, so they have this belt line just above that on the torso. Other than that, they're pretty similar. And then looking at the rear again, we have kind of the same thing on the back. I would have loved to see printing on the leg that's maybe not the prosthetic or not the replacement leg or something like that. That would have been really interesting, but I think this piece is just a piece that Lego has made in the past there, and I still think it's cool to get the kind of peg leg looking legs here. And so even though it doesn't have printing, it's still pretty cool. I really like that one of these characters kind of has the hook hand, and one of them has the different leg there, and the masks and their helmets and whatever have different kind of battle wear and scars and everything there. So that's really, really cool. So those are the three minifigures in here. We have Eris, we have Razar, R-A-Z-A-R, and Rizzo, and their accessories. And then this set we can kind of move into. So first there's a side build, and I did have to switch some parts out for this one. And this is for the antagonist characters. Either Rizzo or Razar would probably be on this. And this was interesting because a lot of these stickers in this set were applied, but two of them were not. And I think a lot of these pieces for this little side build for the antagonist, their kind of glider, their vehicle, their flyer here, were not in the box when I bought this. So I did have to order these, but it did come with the stickers that were to be applied on there. So I don't know what the story is there, but we have this kind of really basic flyer slash glider here. It does have a couple of these jagged kind of blades like the accessory there with the red translucent bar in there, so those get clipped on the side. And we have these nice black wings here with these kind of mech finger clip pieces that can be turned, and this can be turned, so we can kind of clip that on these bars there. We do have a place to sit. There's 4 studs. We do have some joysticks or some levers or some different things, maybe some lights on the back with some translucent there. And then we have these 1x3 stickers up here. So those were never applied, and they were on the sticker sheet, which I was glad that was included. Otherwise I would have had to order that as well. So we can see some different controls and different things up on the front. Overall, this is pretty basic for a kind of side build for a Flier there, but I always love when villains or antagonists or other characters in a given set get their own kind of thing here. There's no stud shooters on this or anything, or tile shooters. Super swooshable, very cool. I do like that the wings can kind of fold in and out, which gives it a very different look, a very different footprint, so that's good. It does look vaguely bird-like, which is, I think, a success, even though the scale is a little bit smaller. So whichever character would operate this, that is cool. Overall, this is, yeah, super basic. I did have to switch out a couple pieces. I did order some extras. I wasn't sure about a color, or I got a couple of extra of the 1x3 tiles. This bigger kind of inverted slope piece, ramp piece, I had in the light bluish gray that I ordered it initially, and I wanted to order black. And same with these bracket pieces, I wanted in gray, but I got in this sort of brown here. So those are some errors that I did fix here at the end, and yeah, this is fine. And then besides that, the main thing in this build is this Eris's Eagle Interceptor. So this is really awesome. You know, when I looked at the Wax Pack Tracker truck, I was really impressed with, you know, its functionality and its articulation and play features, as well as like how much it resembled kind of a wolf or a canine sort of thing. And this is similar. It's a vehicle, kind of sci-fi, kind of fantasy inspired, where it's got like a lot of, you know, tech and different things. It's very much a ship, but it's also extremely bird-like, and there's a lot to look at here, so we will get right into it. And the first thing you build is kind of this front cockpit area here, and I can actually remove that relatively easily, so we can take that off, and this could potentially be its own little module here. But very beak-like, so I love how this hangs down. It feels very similar to the beak on the character here, so I love that. The colors are similar. We do have some like little flags, some wings there, and we have some kind of little blasters with the translucent blue and stuff like that. One of these stickers up here is a sticker that was already applied on that 1x2 tile when I purchased this set, somewhat used, so it was positioned so. I would have maybe done it, well, it's fine, it's good enough, so that's good. And then this is the cockpit, so we do have room for a figure to sit in there and occupy that space. I do not believe, you know, their wings can go in here necessarily, but their shoulder piece can, and they actually accommodate for that a little bit. There is a place on the, you know, instructions where it says these wings can be put when this character is operating this Eagle Interceptor here. So let me get them in there, and we can see what that looks like. This is the older style dark translucent, but it looks pretty good. We can see them through there. So they have their shoulder piece on, they have their head piece on, and that fits. And then I'll show where these kind of additional wings for that character can go later. But this is a really kind of basic, smartly done kind of module here for the cockpit. The canopy is really nice, and the shaping is really good. It feels very much like a beak. I mean, even looking at it now, the kind of like what's the word? These are very, very close in reference and stuff. So I like the overall shape of this, and it's a pretty cool build. They look great in there, so that's good to see. It attaches to the rest of the ship here in a really nice way. So it's got these ratchet joints back here. We have kind of a different kind of joint here that I don't know if they make or use as much anymore. A couple of these vented ramp pieces, slope pieces, and then if we look at the kind of angle that this can attach at, we can have it up here. This can kind of go down a little bit, but it has this built-in angle, not too noticeable of a gap there actually. So that was pretty well done in my opinion, which I like to see. And I lost a talon over here, so that's fine. And so that's the cockpit. And then moving towards the back, moving towards the rear, we have the rest of the ship, and it's very much a bird-like thing here. So I will start with the wing area and the legs, because I thought this was really unique. So we have these pretty wide wings, all things considered. We do have some projectiles here that are the flick version of things, so you can flick these out on the other underside of the wings, and those will launch out. We also have what looks like additional kind of munition or firepower or something. We do have these nice pieces back here, which do indicate some of a more mechanical looking aesthetic to this, which I like. There were stickers on these round tiles that were applied already, so we can see those there. And then we have these really nice wing pieces that all go off with kind of those mech finger like pieces, very similar to the side build for this little glider, but instead we have the wings in kind of the dark navy blue, as well as this kind of light blue, sky blue, agua type thing. So those can all be articulated. These wings can also go up and down. They're attached with like a bionicle, bigger kind of ball joint there, so they can turn a little bit. They can fly, like change their angle. They can fold in a little bit, and they have, you know, somewhat limited range of motion, but then combined with how these wings or these feathers can like the wings and feathers can kind of collapse onto each other in a way that you can get this kind of slimmed down or a bit narrower there, which is really cool. And you can have them like very high up or have them out, which is great. Having them up does make it a little easier to access the flick projectile there. And then beneath that, we have these legs, these feet that hold the bulk of this. And this was really interesting because they're just 2 feet on this, and they're pretty stable, all things considered, because of how big and wide this is. We have these really nice feet kind of sub-assemblies. So they do have some printed pieces on the bottom here. These are inverted tiles, so they have studs on the other side instead of anti-studs, and they have that really nice print on them that makes them look kind of like thrusters or kind of something like that, that maybe this could be used for propulsion or different things. We do have a talon kind of coming off the rear, and it appears I am missing one from this. Let me see if I can find that. I did. So I can attach that. So we have 1 on the back, 3 on the front. A little different color there for those, but that's very, very nice. Nice use of these pieces to add some bulk. There's a lot of bracket stuff in here, so studs on the side. The other stickers in this set are kind of on the top of the leg there, so the ones up here and the ones down here, and that's the same over there. And then in doing that, you can kind of see some of the functionality here. So we have kind of the ratchet joint that's used for like big Ninjago mechs, so these legs can be turned that way. We can also flay them out a little bit, so if we're in here, we can turn the legs out, which is really nice. And so the legs actually have some good range of motion, and you could potentially get this in such a way that it would maybe be flying at something and getting ready with its talons and its feet forward to maybe fly and grab something out of the air, or maybe out of water or something like that. So that's really cool. I was pretty impressed with how stable and strong these legs are, is how able they're how well they can kind of hold the entire bulk and weight of this whole build here. And part of the way that can help is, balancing some of the stuff. The nose or the beak element can kind of be tilted to such that it touches the table, but right now it's not touching. So it really is all just balancing on these legs. And part of that is because they're long, they're wide, they're very, very well done. And so I liked that a lot. And they have a good range of motion. If it's flying, maybe the legs are going back a little more, or there's lots of other kind of different configurations you can move this into. So that's really neat. And now I am noticing that I have these mixed up, maybe not. So some of these are on the mech fingers and some of them are on just these other clip pieces. So I'll have to double check to make sure I got those right. And it appears that I don't. So one of these should be on the back and then one should be in the middle. But either way, you get the nice claws there. And then besides the wings, the legs, the beak, we do have a pretty sizable body area. I don't know if fuselage is the right thing, but we can take a look at that. It does use a big piece here in the blue, but it's very, very nice. And then we have more wings on the back. These can kind of be swiveled around a little bit. These can be positioned as they're all clipped on. They can be twisted and turned there. So that's the rear, but then inside here, we have some room for either characters to sit or accessories to be put in. So we have this nice big kind of ramp piece, this big slope. I don't see that piece very often. I think it's 6 studs up here, like a 2x3 at the top, and then maybe 4. Is this 7 studs or 6? 6 studs, I think, long. But we have some stuff in here with different translucent stuff. We use these kind of pipe pieces to close up some of the gap. And overall, with the wings and everything, and just the shadow and how this isn't translucent, that doesn't feel very gappy to me. It feels like they filled it in relatively well, even though I know that there's air there. Same back here, same up here. There are some gaps, but it doesn't feel that bad. And then we have this interesting kind of gem or rocket-like piece there in the translucent that can be stored in the back, and other things can be put back there as well. So that's very, very cool. And that's kind of everything that's in here. But one of the things I wanted to do was show how the characters' wings might be stored while they are in the cockpit. And as we can see on the instruction manual, they just have those added to the major wings of this sort of ship here. So I don't know if they have it more like this and have this other one kind of like that. No. Maybe opposite way. Maybe like this. There's a way you can kind of get those to somewhat mirror the way that the feathers are going on the broader wing there, and those don't look out of place there. They look kind of good. It looks like an extra little detail there. It's not the most convenient transition to have this character come out of there and having to take those off and put them on, but it's not super complicated either, and I just love that consideration to add accessories if they're not going to make room for them. I mean, I think probably they could fit just in this compartment at the back and be stored in there. But I do like that on the instructions they have them added kind of to the rest of this Eagle Interceptor here. So that's a nice thing for me. They don't always do that, and I applaud it when they do. And overall, this is the whole set. I mean, it was pretty cool. pretty fun. I don't have the extra pieces because I didn't get this sealed, but I can kind of imagine what all the extra pieces would be. Your 1x1s, your studs, your tiles. You'd probably get an extra of the lever here as well as the yellow one, although I'm not positive. Any smaller piece, generally probably the like barb elements used for the claw would be an extra, and I don't think there's anything major that would be an extra piece in here, so just good to keep that in mind, but I do not have those to show. And this set is 348 pieces, and I paid, what did I pay for this? Forgive me, I have to look. I thought something in like the $16 range. Let me double check quick. Okay, after double checking, I paid $10 for this set, but if I include the cost that of all the extra pieces I needed to kind of complete this set, and I'm still not technically there all the way, but the few pieces I'm missing are small, cheap, inexpensive. But, you know, these minifigures were kind of expensive. I didn't buy these minifigures like full. I bought, you know, the helmet piece per the item number in the instruction manual, same with the torso, same with the legs, same with the heads, as well as their accessories. So there was some expensive stuff in here. Not crazy expensive, nothing more than a couple dollars or a couple cents, but I think the bulk of the extra cost that I put into this, besides the $10 I spent on kind of the used set, was in here. And so my overall price is probably around $20 or something like that. I might have spent an extra 10 on a few extra pieces. And, you know, I'm not too mad about that. I felt really good about getting this whole ship, this whole Eagle Interceptor, as well as the Eris figure for the $10 that I paid, even though I didn't know exactly what condition it was going to be in, and it ended up being not as complete as I would have liked. You know, the kind of pieces that I bought for this were relatively inexpensive. I didn't have to buy the extra sticker sheet or anything like that, and I was able to make it work. This set retailed for, I want to say $40, but I will double check here. And it was released quite a long time ago. Forgive me for doing this while the video is recording. So it released in 2013. It retailed for $35, which makes sense. It kind of for sale in the aftermarket now, sealed, is probably just around retail. I felt good. You know, this was not the ideal setup because I bought this, the box was taped, I couldn't look at it during the event, the kind of thrift store event that I was buying this at. I couldn't open it up and double check, so I kind of just had to buy it as is and have faith that things would be in there, or hope that things would be in there. Thankfully, the majority of the major components were in there. This whole bit was almost 100% complete. It was probably like 99, 98% complete. This was pretty much all missing, as well as those characters, which are pretty crucial, I would say, to the value of the set. But I still felt okay getting what I got for $10 here, and then for maybe the extra $10 for the rest of this stuff to complete it out. That doesn't feel too bad for me. You know, the $35 for this in 2013 probably was okay. In $20, I don't know. This seems pretty big for not having that many pieces, and I felt the same about the Wax Pack Tracker set, the other Chima set that I looked at. So I think the retail price was probably kind of fair. It might have seemed back in that time, you know, 11 years ago, that was overpriced, and that may be true. But, you know, if this came out and was $35 today, I would probably say that's a really good deal. I mean, the minifigures are really good quality. You get like the special printed helmets, you get the printed legs, you get the special like torsos, you also get the special minifigure heads underneath. You get 3 of those that are all well done, and then you get some nice assortments of pieces here. Overall, the color blocking is really good on all of these. A lot of the piece usages and choices aren't like groundbreaking or revolutionary, but they are still inspired and well done. And this is a very sizable ship with some cool functionality, and I totally like it. So that's really, really great. And I feel like I got a great deal. So I think that's everything in this set. Thank you for bearing with me while I swapped out pieces and had to record this in parts because of ordering pieces and not having pieces and this and that and the other thing. So I appreciate it. And I think that's it. So if you like this video, please click the thumbs up and give it a like. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button down below so you can stay up to date on all the LEGO videos I'll be doing here in the future, including probably more Legends of Chima, as well as tons of other LEGO sets from all different themes, all different shapes, size, price point, piece count, tons of different stuff. So subscribe so you don't miss any of those upcoming LEGO videos. And if you want to support this channel and support my videos here, you can do that right here on YouTube with membership, supers, and thanks. That stuff helps me a lot. Maybe consider checking that out. And I still have the Patreon. It's in the video description. It's on my channel page, patreon.com/sobricks. Again, maybe consider checking that out. I do appreciate it. So thank you very much. And with all of that said, until next time, thanks. Bye.